Hello, first graders. Welcome to your third week of video lessons on Friday. Today is May 8th, 2020. Today we will learn how to say it fast. We are going to learn how to read sounds and words. And we are also going to answer questions about our shared story this week, number 32, Ride a Bike. We also will be practicing writing with star words. For the activities, we will do some fast track phonics. We'll go over our shared story, and we will practice with adventures in writing. Today, you will need a pencil and paper. If you do not have that yet, please at this time, go ahead and get those items. Pause this video if you need to. Welcome back, everybody. So our first activity for today, we're going to go over fast track phonics activities. I'm going to bring you over to the screen here. First thing that we are going to do together is we are going to practice sounds. When you see the sound, please practice saying the sound out loud. Very good, readers. Shine your halos. The next activity we're going to do together is we are going to stretch and read words. When I point to the sound, you say it. We're going to break these words down first, and then we'll say them fast. First word. Now say it fast. Excellent job. Oops, my mistake. Next word for stretch and read is, ooh, this one's long. We should use a strategy. When we have super long words, we can always use finger detective. Let's break down the first part. Say that part fast. Excellent. Let's remove finger detective and let's do the second part of the word now. Now say that part fast. We have this word. We have this word. Let's say them together. Excellent job. Our last word that we're going to practice stretching and reading with is excellent job, readers. Kiss your brains and shine those halos. For our next activity today, we are going to do some quick erase. Remember, this is the activity where it's going to change by, the word is going to change by one letter each time. And it's pretty quick. Changes to, changes to, changes to, changes to, changes to, changes to, changes to nothing. We are all done there. Excellent job, readers. For the next activity that we're going to do together, we're going to practice break it down. Whenever you are having a hard time reading a word, the number one strategy that I always recommend students is to break it down. I'm going to give you guys a couple of words, and what we're going to do is we're going to hear the word. I'm going to tell you how many sounds are in it. After we hear the word, we're going to break down the word by the sounds that we hear. So for the first one, your word is boy. Break down the word boy. Now say it fast. Excellent job. Your next word is hill. Break down the word hill. Now say it fast. Excellent job. The next one is rocks. Break down the word rocks. Say it fast. Excellent job. Word number 4 is dog. Break down the word dog. Now say it fast. Very nice. Next word is lap. Break down the word lap. Say it fast. Very nice. And the last one is top. Break down the word top. Now say it fast. Excellent job. Give your brain a kiss. Lovely work. Now that we've done some fast track phonics review activities, another thing that I wanted to do with you guys was talk about our shared story. Shared story for this week was number 32, home with a cold. We're going to just, like we did last week, I'm going to ask you some review questions. I want you to think about the question. I want you to consider your answer. You may look at the book while you do this if you would like, if you need help and would like to look back in the book. So after you think about the answer, I want you to think, how can I say that answer in a complete sentence? We want complete sentences. And we also want to use details. I want you to practice saying your sentences out loud. After you have come up with the answer in your head, I want you to practice saying your answer out loud. I'll give you time to do that after we ask the questions. So the first question, let's think about shared story number 32. Why did Vic have to stay home from school? Why did Vic have to stay home from school? Go ahead and pause this video. Think about your answer using a complete sentence with details. Welcome back, readers. So the first question for shared story review questions was, why did Vic have to stay home from school? A complete sentence answer would have been, he was sick. He had a cold. 2 sentences I'm throwing at you. You could have also said, Vic had to stay home from school because he was sick and he had a cold. If you gave an answer like just he was sick or was sick, it's a correct answer. But either it was, the second one wasn't in, if we just say he was sick, there's not many details in our answer, and just sick or was sick, that's really, that's not a complete sentence and we don't have any details, so that would be a 2. And then a 1 would be any other response. Let's think about question number 2 now. Let's get our brains fired up for number 2. Question number 2 is, what happened that was exciting? So what happened in this story that was exciting? Go ahead and pause this video and practice coming up with your answer. That's a complete sentence with details, and then practice saying it out loud. Go ahead and pause this video now and work on that. Welcome back, readers. So question number 2 is, what happened that was exciting? So when we think back to the story, Home with a Cold, I think about the deer and how he saw them outside of his window. That's pretty exciting. So my complete answer would be, Vic saw deer outside his window and it was exciting. If you gave an answer that was a complete sentence that explained that the exciting thing was the deer and you use the word exciting in your answer, you give yourself some sprinkles. If you gave an answer that you just said deer or something just like there was deer, then that's a complete sentence answer without details, or that's a correct answer without a complete sentence. You can give yourself a nice giant big hug. And then we're going to move on to our next and final question today for shared story. Shared story question number 3 for today. Will the deer come back and why? Let's think. Will the deer come back and why? Pause your video to think of a complete sentence answer with details and practice saying it out loud. Welcome back, readers. So question number 3, will the deer come back and why? So when I think about the story, I think about that the deer are probably going to want to come back because Dad and Eva put a bunch of feed out on the grass. And if I was a deer and there was free food somewhere, I would definitely be going back, especially if I was hungry. So my answer is yes, the deer will come back because Dad and Eva put out feed for them to eat. If you had something that was a complete sentence that said yes and gave details, give yourself your sprinkles. If you were able to give a complete sentence without details or a correct answer about the feed that was left, give yourself a nice big hug. We're going to move on to our last and final activity today for our video lesson here. So this is where we're going to be using paper and pencil. So if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and get that at this time. As you'll see here, I've got a paper with our star words from this week. The big snow. Our star words were geese, coat, like a fur coat, harvest, huddled. So we know that geese are big birds that fly south for the winter. I can actually hear them outside right now. If you can too, I apologize for their noisiness. This one, coat, as we know, it means like an animal's fur. We call it its fur coat. Harvest means to pick plants and vegetables and fruits when they're ripe and ready to eat. When you pick them, like when you pick an apple off the tree, you're harvesting the apple. And then huddled, when we're really cold and we get close together so that we can be nice and warm, we call that being huddled together. So these are our star words. What you're going to do is you're going to pick one of the star words. Now you can do 4 sentences for me, one with each star word. That's what's going to be coming soon once we're in level 4, book number 38, which is going to be here shortly. But for now, you can just pick one to write. For your homework today, you'll be picking just one. We're going to do one together though. The star word that I want to write about is geese. Let's practice writing a sentence about geese together. So let's think about geese. We know what they are. They're those big birds that fly south for the winter. And I can hear them outside, so I know they're very noisy. I want to write a sentence about that, about how noisy the geese are at my house. My sentence with my star word is going to be, the geese at my house are very loud. The geese at my house are very loud. Everyone hold up your hand. We're going to count how many words are in my sentence. The geese at my house are very loud. How many is that, everybody? 5 plus 3, 8. We're going to be doing 8 words in this sentence. So I'm going to put my lines now, and then I'll go back and fill in my words later. The geese at my house are very loud. And I'm going to put my period here because that's the end of my sentence. I know where my end is going to be, so I might as well put it there now so I don't forget. Let's go ahead now and fill the lines back in. The first word of my sentence is the. I know that word in my brain. I don't have to break it down. I don't have to copy it to know how to spell it. It's just right there, just like my name, just like your name. You all know how to write your name. It's not something you have to think or sound out. It's in your brain as a memory. So I'm going to write the word the with a capital T because it's the beginning of a sentence. The. If it's in your brain and it's stuck there and you know how to do it without thinking about it, give yourself a brain cloud. I need to start seeing these brain clouds in your writing, ladies and gentlemen, so that I know exactly what strategies you're using in your writing process so that I can start to further move on and teach new strategies when we continue, if we get stuck with those bigger words. So the geese, it's right there. I'm going to copy it. G-E-E-S-E. I copied a word. I used a strategy. Yay for Miss Summer. So if you use a strategy, such as copy a word, when you copy a word, this one didn't come out of my brain. I had to copy it. Or if you have to ask Mom, how do you spell geese? If you have to copy it, either from somebody's brain or from another piece of paper, I need you to put a box around it so that I know you're using that strategy. I can give you 1, 2, or 3, or 0 points for how many strategies I see on your paper. If I don't see any strategies, I give zeros. We need to start using these strategies. They're going to be super, super important once we get our wings and we go on to second grade. So the geese at. Two sounds, I'm going to put 2 dots. That shows my teacher, Ms. Settlemeyer, that I am stretching and counting. That's strategy number 7, stretch and count. So at. The geese at my. I know, And then it could be I space E, like in a wild crocodile, because I know it makes that sound. Or it could be tie or tie, but for some reason, I can't remember what the next sound in that I sound is. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to put a line, and I'll come back later once it comes to me or once I ask for help. I'm also not seeing a whole lot of these. I'm seeing some of us spelling words that we haven't learned the sounds to yet, and I don't see bubbles, and I don't see any spaces for the sounds we haven't learned yet. So let's just be conscious of using these strategies. Let's read our sentence to see where we are. The geese at my house. House, that's a big one. Ow. Ow. Okay, ow. Ow, like shout it out. That's O-U. Ow. I think it's an S. The geese at my house are. Ooh, I know R, the sound R, like start the car. So R, very, airy, very, I think there's a sound here, so I'm going to put a little line. Very loud. Oh, ow, duh. Oh, ow, duh. Now we're going to fill in the dots. Oh, ow, duh. Let's read it to make sure it makes sense. The geese at my house are very loud. Go ahead and read your sentences out, or go ahead and take a look down at your work here. Take note of what strategies we use. Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. We used 4 different strategies. And 5, because we wrote the sounds that we heard. We use 5 different strategies all in one sentence. I am asking for at least 3. I want at least 3. Also, you can start practicing for Adventures in Writing next week. Remember, when we do Adventures in Writing, we are looking for this criteria up here, these 5 things. Are you using your sound spelling? Are you using strategies to write your words? Are you following the prompt the right way and expressing your ideas? Can I read what you wrote, and is it long enough? And then also, are you going back and fixing error or finding errors and mistakes? For example, by putting 3 lines under the top, the first letter in your sentence, that shows me that you are thinking about making sure it's capitalized. That's an editing strategy that I'm going to start to look for as well soon. That's all the time that I have with you for today. I will be posting your homework assignments in Google Classroom. They will be ready for you today. That's all. I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.